Over 1,000 years ago, the first demon was created, and with it came the first blood demon art. Muzan's blood demon art is called biokinesis, and it grants him powerful biokinetic abilities. Using his blood demon art, Muzan can change his facial features, replicate and move organs in his body, create weapons using his flesh and bones, contort his entire torso into a giant mouth, or even create flesh puppets that he can control. He can also split himself into hundreds of pieces that can reattach themselves and regenerate into his full body. Muzan also has very unique anatomy, which he achieved by manipulating and altering his body's characteristics, possessing the grand total of 7 hearts and 5 brains. These extra organs are largely responsible for the majority of his abilities and his resistance to decapitation by Nichiren swords. Conversely, should many of them be destroyed simultaneously, he would be significantly weakened. In combat, Muzan usually shapes his arms into long whip-like appendages and creates tubes and whips made of bones and flesh from his spine and legs. Upon being cornered by the Demon Slayers and pinned by Tanjiro, Muzan, in a panic, made his flesh swell to the point he resembled a gigantic infant, all in an attempt to protect his main body from being burned by the sun. Before we continue any further, we want to thank Honkai Impact 3rd for sponsoring this video. Honkai Impact 3rd now brings the latest 5.5 versions to captains. The most awesome one in V5.5 must be 𝐷𝗲𝗏, who is the first Valkyrie to save black and white forms. Just look at her costume, and you'll see instantly that she is a cruel beauty. The deeper meaning of the special costume originates from her legendary fate. And if you'd like to know more details, come and find the answers in Honkai Impact 3rd. Specially designed for 𝗲𝗏𝗏, the new battlesuit Paladinus Equinox also comes with 2 alternative forms, Knight and Guardian, respectively. The Switch itself has skill effects too. It's like owning 2 battlesuits. In addition to the new characters and battlesuits, Honkai Impact 3rd also prepared 4 new outfits for 2 Valkyries. What's more exciting, if you get one outfit, you can unlock the other one automatically. Since V5.5 is designed for celebrating the anniversary of the global server, logging in rewards a 4th anniversary emblem, not to mention a variety of upgrade materials, a large sum of cards, and crystals. The spring event also rewards a new S-rank battlesuit Spina Astera, and an S-rank battlesuit option. Download the game now and redeem the gift code for 30 crystals, a bunch of Asterite, and a Hersher trial card. 𝗕𝐤𝐫 is the demon we've seen pretty early in the show. He's the main antagonist during the Suzumi Mansion arc, and one of the demons with a very unique blood demon art. After he kidnapped one of the 3 children outside of Suzumi Mansion, he was challenged by 2 young demon slayers, Tanjiro and Inosuke. There, we could see 𝗕𝐤𝐫's amazing blood demon art called drumming. 𝗕𝐤𝐫 harbors 6 Suzumi drums embedded in different parts of his body, and each one of them, when played, enacts a certain effect on his surroundings. For example, when he taps the drum on his right shoulder, he causes the room he is in to rotate to the right. The same goes for the drum on his left shoulder. The drum embedded in his stomach releases a 3 claw-like slash attack, and the drum on his back teleports him or other people to another room within his mansion. Also, 𝗕𝐤𝐫 himself is unaffected by the room rotation caused by his drumming, and remains standing on the floor as if nothing is happening, no matter how much the room spins. Overall, 𝗕𝐤𝐫 is a very powerful demon, and his blood demon art made him worthy of the title of Lower Moon 6 in the past. 𝗏𝗏 is arguably the most powerful demon we could see in combat during Season 1 of the show. He carried the title of Lower Moon 5, and was the first real challenge for our protagonist, Tanjiro, putting him in a near-death state. The main source of his strength comes from his threads and his blood demon art, called thread manipulation. 𝗏𝗏's blood demon art allows him to create thin threads and manipulate them however he pleases. He typically extends the threads from his fingertips like a puppet master. Due to his own body's durability, the threads 𝗏𝗏 manipulates are extremely durable and sharp, being capable of cutting Nichiren swords and blocking strikes from them as well. 𝗏𝗏 can further amplify their strength and durability by pumping his blood through them, giving them a blood red color. 𝗏𝗏 has displayed terrifying proficiency utilizing his threads for combat purposes, making use of the environment to spawn a barrage of striking attacks, or manifest unavoidable web techniques to trap and slice his opponents into pieces. He was only stopped when both Tanjiro and Nezuko combined their power to defeat him. 𝗏𝗏 is the Lower Moon 1 demon, and the only Lower Moon demon left alive after Muzan Kibutsuji decided to disband the Lower Moons. He left 𝗏𝗏 alive and tasked him with killing Tanjiro. 𝗏𝗏 invades the Mugen Train, where our trio is, and that's where we first saw his amazing blood demon art. 𝗏𝗏's blood demon art grants him the ability to force anyone into a deep sleep. This state of sleep is, however, not perfect, as 𝗏𝗏 carefully preferred to stay away from demon slayers out of fear that his presence could awake them, although he is far less cautious against normal human targets. 𝗏𝗏's blood demon art's second ability is his power to enter, manipulate, and control someone's dreams when they are asleep. When using this technique, his victims experience joyous dreams, normally suited to each person individually. He also ensures that they are unable to tell the difference from reality and thus are rapidly seduced to embracing the utopian visions that lay before them, making it far easier for 𝗏𝗏 to manipulate them. Just like he can bestow dreams, 𝗕𝐵𝐻 is equally capable of forcing nightmares, which he uses both as a psychological attack and a means of torture. When trapping someone inside their dreams, he makes the realm inside their minds. This realm, however, has clear limits with borders, allowing one to enter the victim's subconscious where their spiritual core resides. Should this core be destroyed, it effectively destroys the target's mind, leaving their body as an empty shell, allowing 𝗕𝐵𝐻 to kill his victims in their dreams. 𝗕𝐲. The next one on our list is actually a human. Yes, you heard that right. A human who can use blood demon art. 𝗕𝐻 Shinazugawa. If you are confused, let us explain. By consuming the live flesh of a demon, 𝗕𝐻 can temporarily gain demonic attributes from it. Depending on the strength of the individual, he could gain regeneration and physical strength equal to the strength of the demon he consumed. Due to having eaten the flesh and cells of at least 2 upper ranks, Kokushibo and Hantengu, 𝗕𝐻 has seemingly developed his own blood demon art, called wooden flesh bullets. After eating the cells of upper rank 1, 𝗕𝐻 develops a technique where he merges his demon-transformed cells with his bullets and gun. When fired, the direction and velocity of the bullets can be freely manipulated by 𝗕𝐻, and easily move around obstructions, as seen when his bullets moved around Kokushibo's sword, directly burying themselves into his flesh. Once inside his target, the bullets can immediately grow into a gigantic tree, similar to the tree creatures of upper rank 4's Zohakuten form, and then entangle and wrap around the intended target, paralyzing them. His blood demon art gets stronger and more powerful with each demon cell he eats, so we can only assume how powerful he would become if he ate the cells from the Demon King himself, Muzan Kibutsuji. I guess we will never know. Nezuko Kamado. Nezuko might seem like an innocent young little girl most of the time, but when it comes to combat, she is an extremely powerful demon with an exceptional blood demon art. Nezuko's blood demon art, called Pyrokinesis, is simply put, amazing. She can create powerful demonic flames from her own blood, and the best thing is that it doesn't affect her at all. Her flames are very special, as her Pyrokinesis can only injure demons, while being completely harmless to humans. This was best displayed during her fight against Rui. It was also the first time we could see her blood demon art in battle. One of the reasons that makes her blood demon art so powerful is shown during her fight with Upper Moon 6 Daki, where she uses her flames to completely burn Daki's entire body, even preventing her from regenerating. Her blood demon art can also neutralize demon poisons, as shown when she burned off Gyotaro's poison to save Saojishira, Tengen Uzui, and Inosuke. She also managed to light up Tanjiro's sword in his fight against Hantengu, which helped him to take advantage in this fight. Kaigaku. Kaigaku is one of the youngest demons to join the 12 Kazuki. Not long ago, he was actually a human and a former demon slayer, training under Jigoro Kuwajima. Being tortured by a former Thunder Hashira, Kaigaku mastered all the forms of thunder breathing except the first one. Complementing his breathing style, Kaigaku's blood demon art grants him special electrokinetic abilities, which allow him to generate and manipulate black-colored lightning and electricity from his flesh and blood. This lightning-like blood demon art creates a special effect that cracks and rends his target's flesh while burning it, greatly augmenting the lethality and offensive capabilities of his attacks. Kaigaku uses his blood demon art to great effect, utilizing lightning in conjunction with his thunder breathing techniques to enhance his range and speed, which even Zenitsu has trouble keeping up with. It is implied that this blood demon art helps make up for Kaigaku's own inability to perform the most fundamental technique of the thunder breathing style, Thunderclap and Flash, making him one of the most powerful users of thunder breathing, as he had already mastered the other 5 standard forms. Daki. Daki is the Upper Moon 6 demon, and even though many people think he shouldn't be an Upper Moon, it's her amazing and powerful blood demon art that puts her above all lower moons. Daki's blood demon art allows her to create flower-patterned obai sashes from her flesh. Many people didn't know this, but yes, she actually makes it from her own body, as well as freely manipulating them at will. She often creates these sashes from her back and retracts them back into her body when not in use. She has also displayed the ability to exert control over her obai from extremely far distances. Her sashes are noted to be soft like silk, yet as sharp, if not sharper, than most Nichiren swords, shown on many occasions when she cut Nezuko's entire body into pieces. During combat, Daki uses her sashes to unleash long-ranged, interweaving attacks, while also being able to use it to form a shield around her body if need be, making her blood demon art an extremely effective blend of offense and defense. Her sashes are so powerful that they could repel and block attacks from Tengen's explosives, and slice up buildings with ease. Furthermore, they are especially difficult to cut because of their soft properties, and can further loosen by bending and weaving. Her sashes have a unique property that allows her to store objects, usually humans she wants to eat. She traps them inside by transforming the object she wishes into 2-dimensional flat versions of said objects. Do you guys think Daki is worth of an Upper Moon title? Let us know in the comments. Gyutaro. Gyutaro is the older brother of the previously mentioned Daki, and the real upper rank 6. He is the real deal, and an extremely powerful demon, and his Blood Demon art is one of the strongest in the series. Gyutaro's Blood Demon art allows him to manipulate his own body in various ways. It is implied that Gyutaro doesn't run out of blood due to his regenerative abilities, giving him a virtually infinite source of blood to fuel his techniques. In combat, he usually creates barrages of solidified sickle-shaped blood, as sharp as blades, that can travel at immensely fast speeds. He is capable of freely manipulating these blood slashes at will, altering their movements until they hit his opponent, or shaping them however he pleases. Gyutaro can use his Blood Demon art tactically to create inescapable attacks that can overwhelm the likes of Tengen, and holds off the combined efforts of Tanjiro, Zenitsu, and Inosuke. Moreover, Gyutaro's blood slashes appear to be extremely deadly, as Inosuke noted that a single scratch from them would be enough to kill him. The blood he manipulates is shown to be quite durable as well, since Tanjiro deduced that his sword would shatter if he took the technique head-on without deflecting it. Furthermore, Gyutaro can create a shield of blood in the form of a dome, which he used to protect himself from a barrage of kunai, further exemplifying his immense durability. Gyoko. As upper rank 5, Gyoko is more powerful than Gyutaro and Daki, and his Blood Demon art revolves around his porcelain vases. He can presumably spawn them anywhere within his vicinity and create multiple pots of varying sizes at once. Gyoko first displayed the ability to freely teleport from one pot to another instantaneously, offsetting his lack of legs, and allowing him to travel far distances with minimal effort, as well as to evade attacks easily. Gyoko can also trap objects, such as people, inside his pots. If the object he wishes to steal is too big, the pots can simply compress them to fit inside. The pots also seem to give Gyoko liberty of whatever is inside, which he uses to merge the swordsmith together in impossible ways. At the beginning of the Swordsmith Village arc, Gyoko spawns numerous gigantic fish-like creatures to terrorize the village and kill its inhabitants. They are unable to be killed by regular means, and only die when the pots on their back are destroyed. These creatures all possess unique traits and characteristics. Some have sharp claws, some have multiple humanoid legs, or even monstrous teeth. They also seem to be decently powerful, as these creatures can kill the demon slayers that were meant to guard the village. However, their strength still pales in comparison to the Hashira, as Mitsuri and Muichiro swiftly subdued these spawns with ease. Lastly, Gyoko can manipulate and create water from his porcelain vases, which he uses to suffocate his targets by trapping them inside a solidified version of the liquid. Hantengu. Hantengu's Blood Demon art is based on his ability to create clones, rather than for combat purposes. His Blood Demon art is called Emotion Manifestation, and it simply allows him to manifest his emotions as powerful, younger clones of himself, with their own unique appearances, personalities, and abilities. These clones are personifications of a certain emotion Hantengu has felt before, and mainly display that emotion. Each one is identified by a kanji tattoo on their tongue, labeling their core emotion. Hantengu can control these clones however he sees fit, though he usually lets them act of their own free will. This ability is activated when Hantengu's head is cut off, where his head and body turn into two separate clones, with those clones splitting into two after they are decapitated. However, they're at their strongest when there are only 4 of them. Additionally, his clones will never die as long as the main body is still alive, making it nearly impossible to fight and defeat Hantengu alone. Nakime. While we are on the topic of Blood Demon arts that are not based on combat, we have Nakime and her amazing Infinity Castle. We already had a glimpse of Nakime's Infinity Castle in the anime when Muzan decided to kill all Lower Moon demons. Simply put, Nakime has the ability to create a castle with infinitely many rooms. She also possesses dominion over the space, being able to manipulate it and alter it at will by simply strumming her biwa. Even though she can use her abilities for combat in some ways, her main purpose is to trap the demon slayers inside the castle. Nakime can also spawn portals at any location to transport people outside her fortress or anywhere within it in the form of tatami sliding doors. She uses her portals for offensive and defensive purposes as well, displayed when she created the portal to negate Mitsuri's attack. One of her main duties was to act as a mode of transport for the other upper ranks, when they are sent on missions and presumably assist Muzan in moving around the country undetected. Akaza. Akaza is one of the fan favorites. He's the Upper Moon 3 demon that we got to see during the Mugen train arc, when he battled against and killed Flame Hashira Rengoku. What makes Akaza a unique demon is that he always fights completely bare-handed. Considering that he got to rank 3 of the Upper Moon fighting only with his fists, it's safe to say that he is probably the most powerful demon when it comes to hand-to-hand combat. His Blood Demon art, combined with his pure strength, makes him even more powerful. Akaza's Blood Demon art is called Destructive Death, and it takes the form of a martial arts style that combines shockwave-like attacks and his Soryu style he mastered when he was human. The shockwaves Akaza manipulates are blue in color and can take on many forms. He is capable of generating them at will, from any distance, and seemingly from any part of his body. In combat, 𝐂𝐫𝐴 uses his shockwaves to accompany his own punches and kicks to amplify his destructive capabilities, making his attacks covered in a faint blue light. Destructive Death, similar to the Soryu style, is a bare-fisted martial arts style that utilizes both the user's arms and legs to unleash swift and powerful strikes that target an opponent's neck and weapons. This Blood Demon art, combined with his superhuman strength and speed, makes him a formidable opponent in both close and ranged combat. This technique itself was enough to overwhelm and kill one of the strongest Hashiras, and later overpower Tanjiro and Giyu at the same time. 𝗕𝗲. 𝗕𝗲 is definitely one of the most interesting demons in Demon Slayer. His character and personality are unique. He is outwardly friendly, possessing an approachable and charismatic air, and described to talk and act in a calm and carefree manner. But don't let the looks fool you. He is a very deadly demon who possesses an incredible blood demon art. His blood demon art is called cryokinesis, and it's based around ice and frost. He has the ability to generate ice and frost from his own flesh, as well as manipulate it into a powerful attacking weapon. Additionally, the ice created from his blood demon art is extremely lethal to those that inhale it, causing the cells of the victim's lungs to die, rendering them unable to breathe normally. It also nearly froze Kaneo's entire body after just coming into contact with it. He is very skilled in using his blood demon art, and we've seen most of his techniques during the fight against Shinobu, Kaneo, and Inosuke. One of his techniques is called Crystalline Divine Child, where he creates miniature ice replicas of himself to battle his opponents. He is shown to be capable of creating up to 6 clones of himself at once, all possessing roughly the same skill and proficiency as 𝗕𝗲 himself, in addition to being fully capable of using any of his techniques, albeit not to the same extent as himself. Furthermore, these clones are able to record any information they gather during his battle and relay it to 𝗕𝗲, allowing him to fight his opponents while already knowing their abilities. However, one drawback to this technique is that the clones require concentration in order to maintain their functionality, as seen when they disappeared when Shinobu's poison started to take effect. Kokushibo. Now onto one of the oldest demons in existence, the legendary swordsman Kokushibo. He holds the title of Upper Rank 1 and is by far the strongest demon of the 12 Kazuki. He invented his own breathing style called moon breathing and used it in combination with his blood demon art. His blood demon art allows him to create and manipulate dozens of sharp blades shaped like traditional crescent moons from his flesh katana. They're implied to be created from his blood and can be either a bright yellow or bright blue in color. These crescent moon blades are extremely chaotic, constantly changing in size, length, and speed, making Kokushibo's attacks extremely unpredictable and unreadable as they have no set pattern. This blood demon art greatly enhances the power of his techniques, making every single one of his sword swings extremely deadly and dangerous. He also seems to be capable of using his blood demon art as long as his katana is unsheathed, allowing him to create crescent moon blades even without swinging his sword or unleashing a technique. Sanemi stated that if not for his years of experience in the field of demon hunting, he wouldn't have been able to defend himself from Kokushibo's attacks. Kokushibo displayed the ability to exponentially increase the range of his sword slashes with his Moon Dragon Ringtail technique, and shape his slashes into a circular drill-like shape with his Moon Through Bamboo Leaves technique. His blood demon art is definitely one of the strongest to ever exist, considering he was able to hold off 3 Hashira at the same time. Don't forget to redeem the Honkai Impact 3rd gift code to get cool bonuses. Also, click on this video where we explain all breathing styles in Demon Slayer.